What is going on, guys? It is Advance Reboots back with your weekly Nintendo news roundup. This week, we've got a console anniversary. A legendary console may be coming to NSO, a classic PlayStation game coming to Switch 2, and Switch 2 is expanding its fighting game catalog. If you enjoy staying up to date on Nintendo Switch 2 news, make sure you subscribe because we're closing in on that next milestone. Now, let's get into it. First off, this past week, a legendary Nintendo console finally turned 30 years old. On June 23rd, 1996, that's the day that the Nintendo 64 launched in Japan. I already dropped a short covering my personal top 5 most slept on N64 games. There's a link in the description. Go check it out after this and drop your own top 5 in the comments there. I want to see your list. Okay, this one has been building for a while, and I genuinely think something is coming. At a recent Nintendo shareholder meeting, a shareholder asked President Furukawa directly, will DS or 3DS games be playable on Switch 2? Here's what he said verbatim. I can't answer your question specifically, but we are working to make our valuable back catalog playable on current hardware wherever possible. That is not a no, but that is a very carefully worded non-answer, and at a shareholder meeting, no less. Those words are chosen deliberately. Now add this to last year's dual screen patents which surfaced suggesting Nintendo is actively exploring a DS and 3DS emulation on the NSO platform. Now keep in mind, patents don't guarantee anything, and we all know that. But you just don't file patents for things you have zero interest in pursuing. Furukawa's answer plus that patent, the smoke is thickening. Now, I do think this is happening. It's not going to happen tomorrow, and it surely isn't going to happen by the end of the year. But I guarantee you by year 3, we will be seeing that dual screen setup. We also had a shadow drop earlier this week for an original 1994 arcade classic, Tekken, that landed on Arcade Archives 2 for Switch 2. And this is actually historically significant. This is the first time a Tekken game has appeared on a Nintendo home console. Now, it is still a 30-year-old game, and the movements are stiff. The roster is very tiny, but hey, listen, it was a classic game that was put on the PlayStation, and seeing it on the Switch 2 in 2026 is a treat that we can all get behind. And Sega is back at it with Shinobi Art of Vengeance. It's slashing its way onto Switch 2 September 24th with an updated resolution baked in from day one. Pre-orders are live right now, and let me break down the deluxe edition because the package is stacked. Sega's Villain Stage DLC, Ghost outfit, arcade outfit, you get the medic light amulet, you also get digital art book and soundtrack plus 2,000 gold. I mean, they did not hold back for this. This game did originally drop on the OG Switch back in August of 2025. A resolution patch came out a month later because the game didn't really run all that well, and with that new patch, it did improve the experience. I expect the Switch 2 version that launches with that same improvement already built in, plus a bump on that, utilizing Switch 2's newest hardware. And here's one that slipped under the radar this week, and honestly, it shouldn't have. Arc System Works just announced later this week that Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising is coming to the Switch 2 on September 17th, launching alongside the 2.6 game update. Now, if you don't know this game, it is a 2.5D fighter developed by Arc System Works. These are the same people behind Dragon Ball FighterZ and Guilty Gear Strive. Now, when it comes to making fighters look and feel incredible, these guys are at top of the industry. The 2.6 update is substantial. You do get a new DLC character id and a brand new stage plus new system mechanics added across the board, which gives you new costumes and balances adjustments. Now, this is not just a bare port, it is landing at its peak. All right, last week I asked you guys which Nintendo console had the GOAT library, and the results are in. 19 of you voted, so I totally appreciate that. 42% of you say SNES, 37% say Switch, and GameCube and 3DS tied at 11%. Now, the SNES taking it doesn't surprise me at all. You had Street Fighter 2, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 6, Super Metroid, A Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country. I mean, that console had absolutely no right going that hard. 42% is earned for sure. Now, new polls do drop every single Monday, so make sure you do check the community tab to get your vote in next week. Now, that's the week, and 64 turned 30 with no love from Nintendo, which is kind of sus if you ask me. Which story hits hardest for you this week? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Nintendo news, and I'll catch you in the next one.